Under 16, Group D. Dark, Bunny, ByuN, PartinG. 2021 GSL Season 3, Code S. Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 3.
Welcome back, everybody. We had some insane results there. Bunny 2-0 Dark. Honestly, I think you really outclassed Dark in the entire series. Clearly with a better planned build in Game 1, having a good read on how Dark was going to behave, how he was going to scout, how he was going to open. And then in Game 2, head-to-head, Dark playing a style that has served him well in the past. Bunny overpowering him and crushing through to move on to the winner's match. Up next, we've got ByuN versus PartinG.
Yeah, this should be kind of an interesting one. I think that these two, generally speaking, are a very fun match for each other because they both have really ridiculously high-level micro. PartinG is probably the best micro player with early game Protoss units out of everybody in the world. And then ByuN has, for most of his existence, been the best micro player as Terran, right? So I think that can give us some explosive early games because they both can do so much with so little. But, you know, strategy preparation here is going to play a big part as well. And that's a lot of PartinG games come down to like, oh, I prepped this thing that you're not ready for, goodbye, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he really knows how to do these exploitative openings. He really knows how to do a lot of these workarounds that you feel like at times beginners have to deal with first and foremost, but then he'll do it on a pro level. Like squeeze a cannon in somewhere weird or block something off with a pylon or do a rush that we see a lot of, but he'll kind of add his extra little bit of flavor in there for that. So let's see what happens. I think PartinG probably slightly favored here, but you cannot count ByuN out. What I also want to see is ByuN going to need any pauses today here for any wrist issues. He's had some problems in the past. I hope his condition is good. Let's go to Lightshade for Game 1.
GSL Season 3, Code S. Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. PartinG.
All right. Excited to see what these guys have planned for this, especially, again, PartinG. Always looking to see what he is bringing to a series.
I'm always excited to see a PartinG game because you don't know what's going to happen, but you know it's probably going to be something exciting.
Yeah, very oftentimes. Of course, he can play just pretty solid standard macro as well. Yeah,
you cannot typecast him as a guy who just can only cheese. He definitely knows how to play, you know, very straight up styles as well.
Definitely. Yeah, ByuN actually with a pretty big record over PartinG overall.
Yeah, but you know, when we have the Legacy of the Void scores now, I feel like there's been so much time in there for how much Legacy of the Void's been out that you can take it with a grain of salt, you know. If it was, you know, 2 years in and the score was like that, I think there'd be a lot more to say. But really, we've seen so many different shifts in you know, the power dynamics of who is on top in the game over the many years of Legacy.
Now that was a quick wall in, so the scouting probe unable to figure out exactly what's going on. Gonna run away just as the Marine pops out. And of course we can see that it is a factory into second gas in ByuN's base. PartinG not really sure what's going on. I mean, it could even be a command center up there, you never know.
Right. And so a pylon put out here now, which is not really that common to place a pylon out here. I don't know if there's some kind of tech he wants to hide, or if this is simply to spot.
It doesn't look like a spotting location.
Yeah, with the probe there, I think he is going to build something. I thought I saw the probe go all the way back home,
okay.
which is why I was saying that. Yeah, it's going to be another gateway. This time, it's going to be placed out in the middle of the map, so this allows for quicker warp-ins.
Yeah, yeah. And another gate being made at home, so just like a 3-gate?
Yeah, I think it's basically going to be...
It's kind of a very old build.
Yeah, well, the idea is old, right? Is like you have an accelerated amount of pressure. You can come in and hit them as they're going to be expanding, but people don't really use this that much. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have, you know, a lot of honest like functionality in the game. But it's going to get scouted.
Yeah, that's a pretty big scout.
PartinG probably fled with his adept in the wrong direction. I think in moments like that, you really do need to kind of draw attention to the bottom of the map more so than the top, because I don't know that those Hellions were even intending to scout that that gateway and pylon as much as they were going to see if there was any other adepts or anything else out there they could catch too.
Yeah. Now, out goes the medevac with 4 Hellions, and I do want to mention, you can tell that ByuN has actually really studied up for this match. If you look at some of PartinG's worst losses that he's had in the past couple of years, they have been against things like this,
right?
Where he loses a bunch of probes early on because he actually gets so solid, but if you screw with him early when he's trying to screw with you, things can go wrong for him, and I think we might be about to see that.
Yeah, a lot of attacks like the ones that PartinG were doing are basically not built to also be hit from the same side, or hit from home, I guess I should say. So 9 probes already have been killed.
And yeah, that's pretty darn significant. Now, it's a very late command center, so I wouldn't call this the end of the game right now, but that's painful.
This is a big catch, Artosis.
It really is. 2 of them go ahead and just die straight up inside the medevac.
Oh
now,
my
this medevac
God,
falls.
he gets that one too.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay, now, the problem right now for ByuN is that PartinG does have a decent number of stalkers out. He's damaged the economy, but not so much that production is going to be entirely hiccuped. The gateway proxied for the easy warp-ins is still there. Now, the Widow Mines can come in here and do some damage, but a few sidesteps with the probes, and you're basically going to have this dealt with, where I think the real punch from the counterattack that PartinG could have here is going to be the threat.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a tough situation where you're not mining from another base yet as ByuN, even though you got those probe kills. PartinG has been on 2 Nexuses for a long time. He's still up 7 workers right now, and he's still making workers. So I think that PartinG has dealt with it well enough, especially catching that Widow Mine drop. That's like, what a sad moment from ByuN. If he had sent that in any other direction, he probably would have gotten at least some damage with it, and this wouldn't look so tough.
That Widow Mine is very well placed up on that tank. Don't want to have them dive on that tank like this, but there's so many stalkers down here that, I mean, there's more stalkers than Marines, and there's nothing really mobile other than the Marines and the Marauder to fight this, as long as PartinG doesn't overextend, which he has to be careful about.
Yeah. But this is really PartinG's wheelhouse anyways. Like, stalkers without blink, I've never seen anyone that can rival him with this.
Yeah. Oh, they're so close.
Dude, but his feet are over, the siege tank doesn't shoot him.
There's another tank. Now, Blink has started. It's still a ways away, but, you know, I think this, funnily enough, it can sort of transition into one of these games where the stalkers would be blinking in the main and harassing, right? It seems like we already are set up for a position that would have come from 2 very different builds to begin with, but it ends up in a situation like this now.
PartinG right now, turning around with those stalkers. Oh my
Good
gosh, this one gonna catch that. Oh.
And it's gonna send it home. He doesn't know how many more stalkers might be in that area, so he plays it safe.
That's really good. That 3rd base is going up right now for PartinG, getting the Templar Archives as well, adding on a bunch of gateways. Does have that blink very near done now. Still looking very solid here for PartinG, but you know what, ByuN, I mean, he's macroing up. He only just started stim. And
oh, I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah, that's I think kind of the big problem here, other than everything else. Like that, you know, ByuN he's got enough. He's not going to die right now, right? He has his expansion. Okay. But he's like, yes, he's behind in economy. The other part, though, is like, even if he pops up in supply a bit, is like, look, his army supply is a little bit higher right now, but his stim is so late, it's not like he can attack. And by the time his stim is done, there's going to be Psystorm. Yeah. Am I to believe that he will have ghosts when his stim is done?
I don't see how he gets ahead in this situation. Everything is going to be coming. When one solution finally finishes or brings itself to this situation, another one has already come.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, you have a Terran stuck on 2 bases. Stalker is just generating a threat, as we saw here, outside. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like ByuN had some cool ideas, but PartinG, I think, with great decision-making, targeted down the medevacs and took the wind out of the sails of the rush.
Yeah, and look at this. Like, his Stalker's immediately responding to this.
Oh,
yeah.
Sick.
Oh, but can ByuN do something now? He actually comes forward. He tries to pin these Stalkers in, and I guess he'll get, like, a couple, but still better for PartinG.
Yeah, I mean, that PartinG would take that any day of the week. And again, just staying mobile like this, there's a push over here towards the proxied gateway, which has basically been a launching pad for all the harassment outside of the base. But is PartinG not, in fact, set up to basically take this on? I don't feel like this is very much here from Terran.
No, is it
certainly 4 Templars in that?
Yes.
Okay, so then, yeah.
And one on the ground. Okay, charge comes up. Oh, he disables the Prism. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing he could do to actually take this fight. That was a great disable.
That was beautifully done, but I think Protoss can warp back in and rinse and repeat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that.
And so let's wait and see.
But ByuN is pulling back. I guess he realizes that this is going to be a little bit too tough right now to be out there.
And PartinG's taking a 4th base in the bottom left. He's going to have completely owned the left side of the map.
He's getting further and further ahead right now. He's not being wasteful. Okay, adding Archons, that's when you know he's going to attack. The plan is there. Comes the Raven. Might try to feedback that Raven.
Okay, here we go. This is a very stormable area. They are going to come down, and that couldn't be better, as this army is going to get annihilated here as PartinG can push in. 1 tank and some infantry remain. This game is over.
My God, just totally destroyed there. GG. Now, it's too bad because the beginning of the Hellion drop was amazing, and then when he came back in, it kind of failed, and also the mine drop that he tried to send out just got completely sniped. And when you put that all together with how late the expansion was, ByuN didn't have much of a shot. So from there, obviously, it didn't look all that good. But I think overall, the theory behind what he was trying to do against PartinG, we've seen it dismantle PartinG in the past. In seasons where we're like, oh my God, is PartinG going to win? And then someone like a TY just gets Hellions in his base every game and he dies, right? And that's like, it seems that's what ByuN was going for. And it almost worked.
Yeah, it really did. You know, props. Oh, looks like PartinG's going to be probably using his break.
Yeah, maybe going to the bathroom or something, thinking about what he wants to do on this next map.
I mean, he handled it very well. It's definitely one of those games where they're both doing builds trying to come in and trip the other one up, but then both the builds, because they're engineered to do that, it had some weird interactions.
Yeah, yeah. And that build from PartinG kind of reminds me of the way Classic was playing right before the reign of domination from Maru. The 3-gate pressure just did fantastically with it. Like, even though he got like drops in his main, he didn't have any units ready when that first Hellion drop came in, still dealt with it reasonably well, and just excellently done by PartinG.
PartinG is masterclass at these weird situations. I think he's always been better than ByuN in that regard, where ByuN's very good at taking very specific fights. Like, he'll get into a position and really know when to take a fight that he probably shouldn't, but he can make it work with some good tricks. Where
for sure,
PartinG has been a combination of having at times the best micro in the world, but also kind of understanding weird out there situations that you really have to be a true expert at the game to intuit the right ways to move your army, you know, when to push in, when to pull back out. And I think we saw that interaction happen, especially in the early game back there.
Yeah, yeah. And Yeah, I definitely would have to agree with you there. Unfortunately, there wasn't like a lot of situations for ByuN to utilize his great micro, but we'll see if we can get it a little bit closer after the early game here on 2000 Atmospheres.
All right, guys, game 2 is ready. ByuN vs. PartinG continues on.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. PartinG.
I find myself thinking of kind of like a fun idea, a fun way to think about quality of something in StarCraft, right? So let me throw this by you. So think about ByuN and PartinG. What percentage of StarCraft 2's total lifespan were these two each the best at micro for their race in the world? And I would I would say that I can pretty confidently say it's at least 20% for both of them. At least 20% of the lifespan, they were both top micro in their race.
PartinG had, I think, an earlier breakout performance. ByuN's was like right in the middle, right?
I think PartinG is actually even higher than that. I think he's higher than 20%. But yeah, ByuN, like that period of maybe 2016 to 2017. Maybe,
yeah.
Or
maybe 2015.
2015 through 2002, about 2017, right in that area.
And then PartinG,
definitely the best micro in the world.
Which year was the World Finals in China, in Shanghai?
That was 2012.
It was 2012, okay.
And there was a couple of years after that he was God mode with micro still.
But that was really when he, like, I remember just sitting in the green room with you and we're watching a game that somebody else was casting, but PartinG was playing. We're like, look at this. He just doesn't miss micro anything.
Yeah.
And it was kind of crazy. Yeah, and here they are now. And these guys have both been through very different ages of the game.
Yeah, and they've both been around since like very, very, very early on, and both of them took big breaks in there. ByuN for the military, obviously. PartinG kind of just retired for a little bit and came back. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's just like an interesting thought I had about, you know, like trying to assign that, like what, you know, because the game is very old at this point, so these are like serious numbers when you think about it. That's like a legacy of micro.
Absolutely.
Well, this game we have a one-base Blink opener against what looks to be maybe another Hellion drop. Kind of funny builds that are matching up against each other.
Yeah, PartinG amping it up here, and ByuN content to do basically the same thing again. I think, you know, there were definitely some bad decisions by ByuN with the medevac, and, you know, especially versus Stalkers really early on. If you make the wrong decision with where to move the medevac, it will just die. Or if you don't have the boosts spaced out correctly, you can lose it. So I wonder if he's really attributing that game to that early loss there. But things are going to pick up very quickly now. We've got batteries warping in here.
Yeah, this is kind of insane. He actually breaks through. Also, there was a fake upgrade in the tech lab, and he couldn't see what building the tech lab was on. So that's crazy. Now, he does get to shade in after killing that depot. Sees that it was a bit of a fake, and he knows a Hellion drop is going to be on the way.
Looking not totally sure what to do. Yeah. Does a 360 with that. I think I'm just going to go for it. And we have a warp in the main. So PartinG was patient. He didn't pull the trigger yet. He's got one to spot.
Finding that is so big.
Now again, a Stalker is a little bit faster than a medevac, so you get a lot of extra damage. He stayed perfectly at the distance that he will just take out immediately. That medevac, only one Hellion will even get an opportunity to fire at the workers.
With a battery there, no way, no how. He is not going to get any kills whatsoever. Gets that killed off, and now a bunch of Blink Stalkers are going to start pushing the ramp.
Now, there's two mines in a bunker about as perfectly placed as you could ever have. So he does manage to get up in here. You know, a Viking and Marines are not exactly the best fighting force you could have.
Well, add a siege tank to that, and the fact that he can't see the mines right now. And I think ByuN's just going to hold it.
Well, hold on.
Oh, no.
He's going to target down this tank.
No.
I don't think the SCVs can get the proper surface area to save it.
They can't. It was too plugged up there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I just don't know that he can actually recover. You know, this number of Stalkers, 2 one-shots.
Oh,
so that makes it much more abusive. And you can basically rotate in a circular fashion around the 2 command centers, and that's it. PartinG 2-0 just savages him.
Yeah, you can see PartinG with a big smile on that.
Yeah, well, he knows what he did.
Yeah.
And by the way, a good call to basically wait and confirm that the medevac is coming inside the base. Once you realize that, okay, he's just going to go for the counterattack, I'm like, well, I'll just block that.
Yeah, you can take your time on the attack.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't take the damage
Your Stalkers
first.
are fast enough they can run back across the map, but I think it maybe was a moment that at least ByuN should have dropped, try at the attack at his front, done some damage, then maybe force the Stalkers to warp in there and then head to the main, you know?
Yeah. I think even just hiding the medevac on the map would have been good, so that you have like counterplay, right? Like you don't have to just go straight across for it. Like
it's not an either or. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, some people may just be like, yeah, he's going to drop me, but you know what? I can kill him and go for it. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm looking forward to this one. We've got Bunny versus PartinG coming up next. Do not go away.